starting to see a difference in Justin Worley now that he's been named the starter for a little while now? Is he starting to take command and leadership and command that role?
Yeah, he started that really once last season ended, but there's definitely now a little more ownership to it and becomes validated a little bit more. So he can even grow even more in that role.
And Coach Mahoney talked about the football IQ of Ja'Shawn Robertson being not necessarily off the charts, but as high as any incoming freshman he's seen. What do you see out of Ja'Shawn Robertson?
The same, and I've said this before about Ja'Shawn. He has everything we're looking for in an offensive lineman. He's tough. He's intelligent. He plays with great pad level and leverage. Maybe maybe because of his background as a wrestler in high school. But he is, if we were to set a mold for an offensive lineman, particularly a guard, Ja'Shawn would fit that mold.
Mike, just from a standpoint of having playmakers, guys you trust getting the ball to, how much different do you feel going into game week now than you did this time last year?
Significantly better. Guys have developed quite a bit more. The guys that were here last year were still new to the scene. Those guys are a year into the program and much further along. And even the guys that joined us in January have a lot of reps and a lot of skills under their belt. So it provides more weapons for me as a play caller, but definitely for the quarterback as he manages the offense.
Does that make it easier to, when you start your game plan for a game, to knowing that you have more options, more targets?
Sure, and it just gives us more options, gives us more flexibility with formation and personnel, and really allows us to move a little bit faster because we don't have to necessarily place guys in the exact spot we want them. When guys have multiple skill sets, they can move around and they can play multiple positions, and allows us a little bit more flexibility to get lined up quickly.
What would you say from last year to this year, going into game one, has Justin Worley improved the most? What part of his game has gotten the most improvement?
His rhythm and anticipation. He's getting rid of the ball on time and making good decisions, good decisive decisions, and that's important.
Do you think that's just him being more comfortable in yours and Butch Jones's offense?
I think there's a lot that goes into it. That is part of it, but I also think developing a comfort level with the receivers and a timing with the receivers has also played a role.
When you talked about opening up the playbook a little bit more, is that something where you knew going into last year, hey, I can't put in the full extent of the packages I want to play, whereas now, hey, I can put in several more because you have the different sides, you have more receivers and all that?
I don't know if it is as much scheme as it is just options for the quarterback. A lot of times, if we have concepts on both sides of the field, the quarterback can make a choice based on whichever side might give us the best look. And now, sometimes it comes down to a personnel decision. Now he has equal weight on both sides. So it just gives him more options.
Coach Jones has talked about being able to flip the roster so quickly. Is that something you thought you guys would be able to do, to be able to get this many options in kind of from year one to year two?
It's yes, it's something that we've done everywhere we've been, and obviously we can only be as good as our personnel, and we've had good success recruiting, or continuing to have good success recruiting, and that's a key part, a key element of what we're doing.
Mike, have you guys settled on a number 2 behind Justin yet?
They compete every day.
Defensively, I know it's early on and y'all just started game prep, but what do you see from Utah State, and what are going to be some of the challenges?
Yeah, they're very aggressive schematically.
Okay.
And very sound. They're a well-coached defense. You can tell they play hard. We emphasize to our guys about being different with our level of effort, and those guys, I think, buy into the same type of mentality. So we've challenged our guys with, hey, it's our effort and our style of play versus their style of play, and I give them credit. They play very hard, play a very physical brand of football, and it's evident on video.
Just with the offensive line, what went into the decision to send Kyler out to tackle and move Ja'Shawn over? And I think Coleman had been working the right tackle. What kind of made y'all want to switch that up?
Well, I think as much as anything, it was Ja'Shawn's progress, and he was a surprise, I think, to all of us, how quickly he was able to come along and step in and compete and play effectively. So that was one of the big factors. I'd say the main factor.